What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is, excuse me, Kandi and the Gang, Season 1, Episode 2. So we open this episode up. We meet a couple of more employees / family members. We meet Melvin and Brandon. And, I'm sorry, Patrick. Lord, Brandon is somebody else. We meet Melvin and Patrick. Now, Patrick... both of them are Kandi's godsons. They're her cousins, but they're also her godsons. They're cousins. They have different mamas, you know, they're cousins. They're mamas and sisters, whatever, however it goes. And he is the parking lot manager. Now let me tell you something, Mr. Patrick. You were not on your job when I tried to come down to the old lady game because I couldn't find no parking. And I circled that parking lot 500 times. And I saw the parking lot behind the building, but they had these signs up talking about people getting towed and stuff like that, and so I figured that was not public parking. But had Patrick been out there collecting his $10, I would have gladly paid that $10 to park on that lot because they be towing on the street. That's what the people had told me, that you might be careful where you park because they will tow your car. Anyway, neither here nor there. Wish I had met Patrick while I was there because I might have, you know, even though we ended up not even eating at the old lady game because that's another conversation for another day. So, then we meet Melvin. Melvin is the kitchen manager. Now, we find out that Melvin started off working there as a dishwasher and worked his way up. He went to culinary art school, got his degree. So, he is now the kitchen manager. And I was like, okay, I'm here for it. Now, come to find out that they live together in some apartments that are right across the parking lot from Old Lady Gang. How much money y'all want to bet that Kandi owned that building? How much money do y'all want to bet that Kandi Burris owns that building that now has apartments in it that is across the parking lot from the Old Lady Gang? And those are the apartments that I saw because I saw the sign that was like talking about residents parking and stuff like that. So like I said, I saw the sign, I saw those apartments. Either Kandi owned that building or she paying their rent. But that's neither here nor there. Not important. I just remember thinking that sounded like a Kandi move. That she would buy the apartment building across from her. You know what I'm saying? We're moving on, y'all. That's not important. So we'll get back to them later on in the episode. So then we see Dominique. Remember, Dominique is the bartender going out on a date with Brandon. Now, Brandon is the acting manager, I guess. He's the manager. Philip is like his boss, and then Kandi and Don Juan are like his boss. Listen, we learned last week that Dominique is a dancer. She was actually on the dungeon tour with Kandi. She said that's opened up a lot of opportunities for her, but because she does work at OLG so much, it has sort of put a damper on her dancing opportunities, you know, sort of limited her a little bit. Now, Brandon likes her. And she seemed like she liked Brandon, but she did tell him this could get complicated. And Brandon said he didn't care about that. But this is what I'm going to say. Not only is it complicated, it is inappropriate, and in some places illegal, okay? You are her manager. That, even if it's a willing relationship, that is sexual harassment. You, as a manager, because you have authority over her, her job literally could be in your hands, whether she keeps her job or not. You asking her on a date is an implied threat of, well, if you don't, you putting your job on the line. Like, that is sexual harassment. I'm just telling y'all. Y'all ain't got to like it. Y'all can put it in the comments that y'all agree with me. But it is inappropriate. Now, if they were co-workers on the same level, maybe. If they weren't direct, you know, like she didn't report to him directly, maybe they could get away with it. But the fact that he is your direct supervisor, that is all kinds of problems. And Kandi, you opening yourself up to a lawsuit. Like, I know this is a whole TV show, and some of this stuff is what it is, but girl, that's not a good look on any level. So then we have and then the producers asked him, did he have a problem with it? And they're gonna show a video clip of Kandi and Todd. That is not quite the same thing. Todd worked on production, and remember, they weren't supposed to be dating. They had to keep it a secret until Todd quit and found another job. Remember, they were dating in secret for a long time before they made it public. And Todd was not Kandi's direct supervisor. And even then, they weren't supposed to be doing it. But whatever. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so then we see Chandrika. We see Chandrika, Taurian, and Dominique. They're meeting over his house to have a little get together, little catch up. Now, remember, Taurian is the guy that used to be a manager, who's the events manager, who's supposed to be Taurian, and he's coming back. So he invited them over so they could just, I guess, shoot the breeze, get caught up, and all of that. So first they talk about, what's going on at the restaurant, about, him coming back. And Chandrika, of course, tells her, well, you better watch out for Philip, because Philip is rude, and Philip is this, and Philip is that, and, he gonna give you a hard time. And Taurian was like, well, I'm not really worried about that, because they asked me to come back. Which I can understand where he coming from, but he did let us know that he left in a very unprofessional way, that things got a lot for him, he got overwhelmed, and he just left. Now, we found out later on in the episode that not only did he just leave, but he blamed it on COVID. He didn't get no notice, he didn't do nothing, he just stopped showing up for work, blamed it on COVID, but then was posted all over the social media, him out and about doing everything else except for coming to work. Listen. That's why I don't follow nobody on social media that I work with, and I don't allow nobody that I work with to follow me on social media. If anybody that I work with following me on social media, they following me under a dummy account, or they know somebody that's friends with me that can see my stuff. I learned that lesson the hard way. Real quick story. I was friends with somebody that she ended up becoming my supervisor, and we were already Facebook friends. And so it was a little bit different because we were already Facebook friends. But baby, one day I got mad about something at work, and back in the day, you used to put everything on Facebook. I did, I used to put it all on Facebook, and I vented, and then I had to remember, oh shit, my supervisor can see what I just said, and I am talking about her. Let me take this down. So after that, I just make sure that I don't be following nobody, and I don't let nobody follow me, because we just don't need to mix. Listen, we don't need to mix the personal and the professional, and it's because of stuff like that. You don't need to know that I called out sick, but that I'm really, at happy hour. You don't need to know none of that. Anyway, then in a very scripted moment, and you're not going to tell me otherwise, it was not by accident, it was not by happenstance, it was very scripted, because Taurian, you're not a good actor, okay? So then he says, well, that's enough of that, and he turns to Dominique and says, so you dating anybody? Now, either it was a very scripted moment so that she could sit there and squirm and act all uncomfortable, and then tell the confession that she don't really want to tell them that she's dating, that she's went out on a date with Brandon, because they don't need to know, and it's not their business, because they're trying to build up this whole forbidden relationship narrative. Or it was edited in a way that it made it look like he just came out of nowhere and asked her about who she was dating. Now, to be fair, Chandrika is engaged, so I guess he would already know that she's dating somebody, and who she's dating, because she's engaged. But it just seems so weird that literally right before the commercial break, she was on a date with Brandon, and now it's, so who you dating? And I was just like, that's coming out of nowhere. So anyway, so then we see Melvin. Now, Melvin, Aunt Bertha is Melvin's grandmama. And we see Melvin go to visit Aunt Bertha. They cooking because, again, he cook, and, we find out that there was a situation with one of the former managers, and her name is Kim. Now, Kim is Melvin's mama. Well, let me not say Kim is Melvin's mama. Kim is Aunt Bertha's daughter. Now, she may not be Melvin mama, but if she's not Melvin mama, she's Melvin aunt. But I think it's his mama, but don't quote me. But Aunt Bertha is her mama. Well, come to find out, she used to be the manager down to the old lady gang, but she quit because she said that Mama Joyce cussed her out. Now, let's be clear. I 100% believe that Mama Joyce cussed her out. I don't even know what happened. I don't know what the circumstances were. I don't know why why Mama Joyce cussed her out, but I believe Mama Joyce did it. So Kandi calls Melvin while he there, and they FaceTiming, and basically Kandi wants to have intervention so that all the parties could sit down, so that they could work it out. Because at the end of the day, they are family. And even before the restaurant, even before all this other stuff, they are family. Like, that is Mama Joyce, that's her niece. And she, there's strife in the family, and there's things that ain't going on. So, child, we're going to get to that, because when I say that was the most entertaining part of this whole damn episode, baby, when I tell you my ass was sitting in here damn near in tears, so we're going to get to that in a second. So, back down to the restaurant, Brian comes back. Now, this is Brian's first day back. Now, remember, Brian, is the former bartender who left, and he left to go start his own thing. He started his own food truck or whatever. So he's back. Now, Brian said that he was there when Old Lady Gang first opened. And when they first opened, they used to have lines wrapped around the block. And he said that it helped him really, improve his bartending and his serving skills. And it really, it helped him be good at his job, because they had to just keep moving. Now, we see him come in, and Philip needs to talk to him. So he said, it's my first day. I don't know who I'm supposed to report to. I don't know what's going on. And Auntie Nora is like, well, just, I don't know, do what you got to do. Like, find somewhere, get in where you fit in. So that's part of the problem. How he showed up for his first day, and he don't know who he even supposed to report to and check in with. So Philip comes up to him and says, can I talk to you downstairs? I'm going to show you where your station is. And Brian says to him, well, I normally work upstairs and downstairs. Philip says, well, I'm going to show you where your station is today. So let me say this. Philip, I understand that you are inheriting a dysfunctional situation, but you are rude. You are rude, and you are unnecessarily rude. Because if I'm Philip, and I hear that this is a server who used to be here, who has the ability to run a station upstairs and downstairs, and he can run up and down them steps, and he does it well, and he does it efficiently, how about I might let him show me? Show me how good you are, bruh. But I keep saying Brandon. Brian is funny. Brian is that server that everybody loves. Like, I would, like, just the little clips that we saw him, I would love for Brian to be my server. He's got jokes. They're not inappropriate. They're funny. They're fun. He just seems like a good guy. He probably makes really good tips, right? So him and Philip get to talking, and Philip is just serious, no nonsense, like no smiling, no hey, it's good to have you back. I heard some great things about you. Or maybe you didn't hear great things and you don't want to lie. Hey, glad to see you. I hope this is going to work out for both of us. I'm Philip. You don't know me because I wasn't here when you were here before. Like, there's a way that you can talk to people that you don't have to be, you're not being inappropriate. You're not crossing any lines. You're not being rude to people. But you're not being too friendly with people, but you don't have to be so rude. Philip, you are rude. And there were multiple examples in this episode where you were unnecessarily rude to people. And granted, I get it. You were brought there to clean up. And I think at the crux of this, your biggest problem is you don't like the fact that Kandi is bringing old people back, because you feel like old people were part of the problem. Or these old people, you reaching back and bringing back people who quit, left, got fired, whatever the situation was. You don't respect why they're gone. Why they're back. And at the end of the episode, him and Taurian have a moment, and Taurian basically tells him that. He said, well, Kandi asked me to be back, so you need to talk to her about that. And I really think that's what it boils down to. But let's be clear. It's not Brian's fault. It's not Taurian's fault. It's not anybody else's fault who is coming back in there new or, reintroduced. That's the issue you need to take up with Kandi. But it just, I don't know. Like I said, I ain't had no problem with Philip last week with the Chandrika situation, because I felt like that was appropriate. But these people ain't do nothing to you. They weren't rude to you. They weren't disrespectful towards you. And you were just rude to them. So anyway, Brian also lets us know that, he said he misses being at the bar, but he's kind of okay with not being at the bar because he's dealing with his sobriety. He said, I never thought I had a drinking problem until COVID. And even though I knew I wasn't ready to die, I know that if I kept going the way that I was going, being quarantined, and the way that I was drinking, I know that that's what was going to happen. So he said I had a long talk with God, and that's where I'm working on my sobriety. So I could respect that too. So then we see Philip. We meet Philip's boyfriend. His name is Felipe, and he is from Brazil. And Philip even says to him, "Well, people say I'm mean. You think I'm mean?" And Felipe says yes, but then he changes his mind and come back and joke and said, "No, I'm just joking." No, you could have. No, he's rude. He's mean. Anyway, so the crew is going out for drinks, and Philip actually walked up on them talking about going out for drinks. And so, you know how when you talking about doing something and you really wasn't planning on inviting that person, but they kind of walked up on it, so that you feel obligated to ask them if they want to go, even though you really don't want them to go, and they know you don't really want them to go. So that's what happened. Philip walked up on Brandon, Brian, and Chandrika talking about going out for drinks. And so they basically were like, well, you want to go? Are you coming with us? And Brandon, I think Brian said to him, do you go out? And he was like, not with you. Was that necessary, Philip? You could have just been like, nah, y'all got that. Nah, y'all good. Nah, I'm not going to make it. But did you have to be like, not with you? What the fuck does that mean? That's just rude. That's the kind of stuff that is unnecessarily rude. So anyway, everybody is hanging out. We have Brandon, Brian, Felipe, the other guy that we met last week that came over from Blaze, Dominique, Chandrika, and Patrick come through. Now, Melvin was supposed to come through, but we ain't see, if Melvin made it, he ain't make it for the film, and the cameras was gone by the time he got there, because we ain't see him. But they're sitting there talking, and of course they get the dogging out the restaurant. And Patrick was like, at the end of the day, I'm going to always be loyal to Old Lady Gang, so they just better watch what they say and don't say the wrong thing. So Chandrika is complaining about how much she makes. She said, listen, minimum wage is $15, and I'm making $12. And the people down to the Family Dollar making $17. And Patrick just sitting there taking notes. Now, listen, you can't never forget who you around. And I have made this mistake. I have been known to let my mouth move faster than my brain sometime. And I have said some things in front of people that I probably shouldn't have said stuff in front of. Been there and done that, okay? But y'all know who Patrick is. Y'all know that Patrick got that glorified position taking care of the damn parking lot because of who he is. Let's be clear, okay? Y'all gonna sit there and have a whole conversation about how horrible things are, the Old Lady Gang and the bad management and the food is inconsistent and you ain't making enough money. We also found out that Patrick and Chandrika used to date for a minute. Now, of course, Patrick said it was just sex. Chandrika said the sex wasn't good. So it don't matter. Either way, they not together no more because, like I said, she got a whole fiance and he got a whole girlfriend. So that's neither here nor there. We do see him later on go and tell Kandi, and he snitched. She told Kandi what was said and who said it. And she was like, wait a minute, Chandrika complaining? She don't even hardly come to work. How she gonna complain about how much she getting paid and she don't even hardly here to earn what she make? I was like, well, maybe that's why she ain't hardly there. Maybe she got another job paying her what she need to be paid. I don't know. Shit. But I do agree that Kandi said, well, she need to come and talk to the people who actually signed the paycheck because I'm the one that can do something about it. But once again, I have to say, so Kandi, here's a woman who you say that when people leave bad reviews, they call her by name. And now she don't hardly come to work and she rude. Why is she still there? Why does she still have a job? Like, girl, anyway. So then, child, we get to the intervention. Child, they down to Kandi's guest house. And all of them come through. We got Aunt Nora, Bertha, Mama Joyce. We have Kim, and then we got Winnie. Now, Winnie is supposed to be the mediator, right? She's a family member. And Kandi said whenever we have family conflicts, we always got to have Winnie there so she can help mediate the situation. So Kim starts talking about how Mama Joyce came through there. Mama Joyce said this about her, said that about her. She said, I can find it. It's right here on Facebook. And child, she couldn't find it on Facebook. But anyway, she said that Mama Joyce told her that's her effing kitchen. And if she don't like it, she can stay the F out her kitchen. And it's her effing restaurant. And baby Mama Joyce said, I did not. I ain't never said that. I never said that's my effing kitchen. I never said it's my effing restaurant. And Bertha was like, why you gotta cuss so much? And Joyce was like, because she the one that said it. I'm just repeating what she said. So then in her confessional, Mama Joyce said, I might have cussed, but I didn't cuss her out. Now what we find out is that Kim, allegedly, when she left, she tried to pull the I'm leaving, who going with me, situation. Like, I'm leaving, I'm quitting, who rolling with me? Y'all can come where I'm going. Because it sounded like she already had another job when she quit. And she was trying to get everybody to leave with her. And Kandi was like, listen, I ain't going to lie. That's what pissed me off. Because it's one thing for you to quit. Fine, you don't like it here, you can leave. But for you to try to take my staff with you, I felt some kind of way about that. That was kind of effed up for you to do that. Now, she's like, Kim swear up and down, she ain't never do it. Mama Joyce and Aunt Nora is like, but you did. So Kim gonna say to Aunt Nora, well, you wasn't even there. I don't even know why Aunt Nora over there nodding her head and mumbling under her breath, because she wasn't there. And Aunt Nora was like, I don't know who you think you talking to, but I'm going by what Joyce told me. And Kim was like, exactly, you weren't there, so I don't even know what you talking about. Baby, Aunt Nora jumped up out that seat and was like, how you want to carry it? Kim jumped up out her seat and was like, we can go. Now, mind you, this is auntie and niece, okay? Baby, when I tell you they had to get in between the two of them because they was about to get at it, and Kandi was like, everybody think Aunt Nora is the nice one. But what people don't understand is that Aunt Nora, back in her day, Aunt Nora was the one that used to whoop ass. Baby, when I tell you, Aunt Nora was about to jump across Kandi and everybody else that was in her way. She was about to get to Kim. Oh, she was going to get to Kim. And Kim was standing there like, whatever. What you want? What you want? Ain't nothing between us but space and opportunity. What you want? Baby, when I tell you I was in this living room dying, when I tell y'all how hard I was laughing at that situation with them women about to fight, them old ass women in the middle of Kandi damn living room about to get at it. Do you hear me? Kandi was like, so clearly, Kim coming back to the restaurant right now probably isn't the best decision. She said, Wendy, I thank you for trying anyway. I'm sorry we could not come to some sort of resolution. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Mama Joyce said, well, listen, I bought some cold cuts and I got some chicken wings and y'all need to come over here and eat this food. No, first they tried to get Kim and Aunt Nora to hug. And Kim was like, it's too soon for that. And Aunt Nora was like, hell nah, she better not come over here near me right now. Baby, I was like, and I think Aunt Nora meant that thing. Aunt Nora meant that thing from the bottom of her heart. Do you hear me? So Mama Joyce gonna tell them to come over there and get them some food and not to waste her damn money because she bought them cold cuts and bought them chicken wings. Next thing you know, Aunt Nora is over there eating some chicken wings and here go Kim sliding over there to get her some chicken wings. Kandi on the couch mumbling to Winnie talking about some. See, this is shit I'm talking about. Now 5 minutes ago they was ready to fight. Now they over there about to eat some chicken wings. Look, all is fair in love and chicken wings. Okay, all is fair in love and chicken wings. Anyway, child, that thing took me. I ain't even gonna lie, that thing took me out. So last but not least, we see Taurian show up down to the restaurant. Now Kandi is there. Taurian shows up at the restaurant to talk to Don Juan. Now Don Juan was like, listen, even though what Taurian did was unprofessional as hell, I do have a little soft spot for him. He's like my little brother. But Taurian shows up with his, tape measure and his hammer and nails. He ready to measure out the event space. He ready to get this party started. He want to start planning events immediately because he said, I make money for Old Lady Gang, okay? I make them thousands of dollars. And I'm ready to get back to doing what we do. So Don Juan tells him, well, listen, we renovated the event space. So go on up there, get a lay of the land, figure it out, figure out where you're going to put people, how it's going to look, what kind of things you're going to do. So he goes into the event space and he's in there taking his measurements and his specs, and Philip is in there. And Philip says, hey, and Taurian's like, oh, hey, how are you? He said, I'm sorry, I didn't expect anybody to be in here. Don Juan sent me up here, so I just want to, I'm just, don't mind me. I'm just going to be getting some measurements and stuff. And Philip was like, well, would you like to come and, come and speak? Would you like to talk? And he was like, okay, is this like, like an official talk? Because I didn't know I was doing that. I wasn't prepared for that. And Philip was like, well, no, that's, when you're in the room with somebody, that's just appropriate to address them, to have the conversation. And so Tauren comes over, and I figured in Tauren's mind that he could still work while he's talking to Philip, because again, he said, I wasn't prepared to have like an official sit down situation. So he gonna tell Tauren, well, it's appropriate for, he said, well, when I talk to somebody, I like to be able to look them in their face. Tauren was like, oh, so you want me to come sit down? He was like, I don't know how many other times I gotta say that. Rude. So then Tauren tells him who he is. My name is Tauren. I used to work here. I did this and I did that. They're bringing me back on board to, do these events. He said, Philip was like, he said, well, Tauren said something about, well, when I left, I left a little, I unprofessionally. Philip gonna say, oh, kind of like how you came in here. Now, I don't think he came in there unprofessional. He told you twice that he didn't know nobody was in there and that he was just in there to get his measurements. I don't think what he did was unprofessional at all. So then, Philip gonna say, so he was like, well, basically Tauren was like, well, who are you? Or he didn't say it rude like that, but he was like, well, who you want to tell me? He was like, I'm not in the business of explaining myself and who I am to you, because that's not my. I don't think it's too rude to say, hey, my name is Philip. Kandi and them brought me in, because he said, well, it's Kandi and Don, then it's me. And Tauren was like, okay. But in Tauren's mind, I guess he was thinking, but Kandi was who brought me back on. Don Juan is who I just talked to. So, but Philip is acting like this is a job interview, and he was like, well, if, it's all about whether I decide if this is a good fit and whether you should come back or not. And Tauren was like, it's not what was explained to me, because what was explained to me is that I'm back. So I'm not clear what's going on here. And I don't think Tauren got rude at all. I think that Tauren did start snapping back towards the end of that conversation. But hell, that was after Philip had been so rude to him. I felt like Philip was the rude one. Now, like I said, I gave Philip credit last week because I felt like Chandrika was rude. Chandrika, whatever the girl name is. I felt like she was rude to him. But in this case, I feel like you were rude to Brian. And I felt like you were unnecessarily rude to Taurian. I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm done. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.